Sorry, I just want to make sure I'm not touching.
Good noon, everyone. Going live at 12:05. Not really, but sorry that you're hearing that.
12.
I did not want you to hear that.
Going live at 12:09.
Going live at 12:09. Going online at 12:09. We were doing a sound check.
Sound check. Sound check.
Sound check.
We were doing a sound check. Sound check.
Sound check.
Sound check.
Sound check is good.
We're here. It's Sunday already.
We are here. It is Sunday, and like we've said on here before, Saturdays and Sundays, those are generally the days we go live. Forgive my hair. I got the Steven Seagal slick back going on
Halloween.
because I'm growing it long. I said that in the last podcast.
But just in case.
Yeah, she's trying to stay away from me because I got a new tattoo, so she doesn't want to end up brushing it or hitting it.
But I also want your whole head in here.
It'll hurt. We'll get your whole head in here as well. My whole head's in there. They're just missing this ear. But welcome to episode 27 of Together Out Loud. As we've stated before, we share this podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and we share and upload clips on Instagram, TikTok, and then we also put small clips on YouTube as well. And I need to get back into it, but Wednesdays I generally will ask a question broadly. On Wednesday I was gonna ask the question of who has a junk drawer and what do you have in it, but maybe I'll do that this coming Wednesday, and we can all engage and answer that and kind of have a good laugh or something about things that we keep in a junk drawer. Do you have anything that you would like to talk about today?
There was one thing I thought was interesting. I literally just saw it on Instagram. It was a woman who has been married since 1982, I think she said, and she had 3 things that were kind of like advice that she learned and wish she would have known. I cannot remember what the second one is for the life of me.
So we're going to talk about that.
So the first
bad memory.
The first one was something that I agree with is women don't get upset at your husband if he cannot read your mind. Like, he's not going to know what's wrong with you if you don't communicate. So I remember that being one, and I know that was something I can easily remember because I agree with it. But I think it can go both ways too. Women can't.
Yeah, I agree with that because men can get upset with that as well. I know I have. Actually, it's not really. Sorry, I'm out of the frame. I'm grabbing a charger. It's not. I wouldn't say really for men. It is mind reading. I would say it's more reacting a way that they don't want you to react. It's more. It's less mind read. It's more like, well, why did you do that this way or do that way?
Yeah. Okay. And I can't remember the second one, so maybe that's one that I don't have to work on. But the third one is one that kind of resonated with me. And she said, women, I know you're probably not going to like this, but you are the ones who set the emotional tone of the household because you are the ones who are the homemakers and the peacemakers of the house. And that actually goes, I believe, like that's biblically too. And she said, I know that may not seem fair, but it's not something where you have to control everybody's emotions in the household, but your tone and your emotion will affect others. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad I heard that, because at the end she said, which one of these did you need to hear today? And I actually commented and said number 3, because I completely understand how my mood can kind of affect other people's moods in the household. And yes, I don't want my kids coming home from school or even starting school. That's one of the things, the mornings being nuts, and I get irritated easily by little things. I don't want them to start their day off in a negative environment. I don't want them to end their day. Same with my husband. I don't want him to come home and I'm immediately complaining or in a bad mood. Which I don't think that rarely happens anyway. But I understood, like, me getting irritated and or not being able to control my emotions in the household can affect everybody else. And I think that is something that I'd like to work on. I'd like to work on not getting irritated so easily or come off in a judgmental tone when somebody makes a mistake or somebody makes a choice that I'm like, why did you do that? But I think that's a control issue that I have that I'm trying to let go of. Do you agree with that statement that she made?
Yes, I do. Are you going to break the fast? Just out of curiosity.
If
Are you
if
going to
you want
grab your
to.
Mountain Dew? Because I was going to have you grab my ginger ale for me.
Okay.
Okay. She's going to grab a drink for me quick. But so then, yeah, that'll be good topics. I would also like to, since it's kind of relates to the marriage and the male female perspectives, I wrote down high status males versus high status females. So we can talk
Ooh,
about
that's a
that
good
as well.
one.
But I guess if you do, you want to start off with the high status male versus high status females and then kind of go into the marriage, or do you? Yeah, let's start with what you said. Let's start with the advice on marriage.
Okay.
First. And thank you, everybody, if you're just joining in. And remember, we very much enjoy when you guys engage. So if you have any questions or any statements or anything that pertains to what we're talking about, feel free to chime in. And you're going to also, I don't know if she's on here, but get in touch with Lee Hosier.
Yeah.
And maybe episode 28, we will do an interview with Lee Hosier, which is a person that has joined, a woman that has joined a couple times, actually, numerous times.
Yeah. Yeah, it slipped my mind this week, to be honest with you. So I will be messaging her.
So I guess we can start off with, wow, we're up to 12. That's good. I guess we can start off with, don't get upset if men are not mind readers, and vice versa. As I stated, I don't think it's that women aren't mind readers. I think men more get upset with the way a woman will react to certain things. Another thing that will upset a man, for you ladies out there, is if you tell a guy to do something. I think it was a cat hair. If you tell a guy to do something and he doesn't do it right away, so then you decide, well, I'm just going to do it myself. I know I myself personally, I don't like when women do that. But and it's not really a control thing. I think it's more based around, if I'm being honest for myself, it's based around like, I'm going to do it right and you're going to mess it up. And then I'm going to have to fix your mess up and also have to do it afterwards anyway. And okay. I know that may come off as sexist, but I don't care. That's how my mind works. Go ahead.
So I have a question. How many times or how long should the woman wait for her to ask you again to do it? Because that also will come off as kind of like, oh,
I think 3 times. Ask 3 times. And if he doesn't do it by the 3rd time, then get tools out and pretend you're going to do it. That's the best way to do it. And make sure that he catches you pretending that you're going to do it. Because then you can be like, oh, I just figured I would do this since you always seem so busy. And then he obviously at that moment is going to be like, I will take care of it right now.
I've seen funny videos on TikTok and Instagram of women pretending like they're about to do something crazy, do it yourself. And the guy's like, whoa, don't do all that. But I gotta say, I am proud that you did the shed the same week that you said you wanted to get that taken care of.
Yeah. Well, that's also because we're going to be selling the house. So I wanted to get that done as soon as possible. And welcome, I Heart the 80s. You've been in here a number of times.
Yeah, while we were on vacation too.
It's great to have you in here and great to see you. And we always love when you come in and you engage with us. But right now we're talking about just not getting upset when men aren't mind readers, and likewise for men as well. Don't get upset because your spouse, fiance, significant other doesn't read your mind
or react.
Can you think of any moments that you've gotten upset when I can't read your mind? You're actually pretty good with that.
No, I know for me in general, I don't like confrontation, and I would be one of those people who's like, I'm just gonna do it myself. But that's more not necessarily you not doing something. That's me in general in my life. I'm one of those, and this again may be a control thing, where I'm like, they're not gonna do it right, so I'm just gonna do it myself. But yeah, I can't think of a time that I got upset that you weren't reading my mind.
Yes, DC 2025 says hot wife. Yes, she is a hot wife. Continue. Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for the engagement.
I'm glad that you said wife.
And thank you, Patricia Harrington, I'm assuming, for the follow. I was assuming the rest of the name. It just says Harring T0. But thank you for the follow.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah,
Do you want to go a little bit? Sorry, I'm not to interrupt you real quick. Do you want to go a little bit over, since some of these people are new, what we do with this live?
Yes, we are together out loud. We're a couple who have been married for 10 plus years now, almost 11. Come September will be our dating anniversary of 11 years together. And we are not here to like tell you to give us gifts or like or whatever. We don't do any of that normal live stuff. We like to come on here and sorry, I'm getting distracted by
No, that's okay.
We get to come on here and just talk about our experiences with marriage and dating and relationship and past things that we've done. And also just sometimes we touch on current events, and we like to engage in the people with the people who are watching and commenting and just want to be positive overall. We are not here to judge or anything like that. We just want a positive place for people to come and engage.
Yes. And as she said, yeah, we want it. We try to make it positive, and we like the engagement. And I saw that iHeart 80s just said, "Nice to see you guys. I hope the kids are good, but I can't stay on." Yes, they are good, and they're busy as always. And thank you, and we're happy that you jumped in for a little bit. And if I look familiar, it's because I'm famous. Just kidding. No, it's because some people say I look like Luka Doncic. And there's a guy on TikTok, Crushing Florida, I think is his name, and I actually do look like him. Cool. And Bob is currently apparently removing our clothing items with AI. That's awesome.
Oh, cool.
I love it. Paul Logan says, life been tough lately, so I'm blessing the first 6 folks to message me debt. If you guys want to message Paul Logan debt, that's awesome.
Bob, no, I did not used to tap.
My wife apparently used to tap Bob back in high school.
I was not doing that in high school. So
and the tortoise guy says kind of look like Dustin Diamond. I like that. Actually, there's someone who I really, really think looked like Dustin Diamond. I just saw a little bit. What's his name? The sports book guy. What's the guy that I used to not like, but then he was on Theo, and I was like, oh, he's actually not that bad. Dave Portnoy. I think Dave Portnoy looks like Dustin Diamond. But so to continue, yeah, some of the stuff we won't read. If it's inappropriate, we're not going to read it because, again, like we stated earlier, we put this is like a podcast form, but it's 100% live. So if you go and you listen to it, we don't edit any of this.
No.
So anything that's on here is going on, and we post it on Spotify and we post it on YouTube, and then we post clips on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram. Yeah. DC 2025 said, do y'all have an open relationship? No, we are devout Christians. We try to go to church as much as possible, and we actually save up money. We like to give a lot. In our 25th episode, we gave $25 to our first follower in that, and then around Christmas time, we plan on giving like several $100 gift cards for like some trivia. We'll think of something. I don't know. Lauren says, do y'all have kids? Yes, we have 3 children. Mm-hmm. We have a 10-year-old boy, a 9-year-old boy. I might as well say 9. He's going to be 9 this month. And a 6-year-old girl. Lorraine 54 asks, what is a devout Christian? A devout Christian is somebody who follows Jesus Christ's teachings. Sorry, I almost combined 2 sentences. I was going to say someone who follows Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ's teachings to the best of their ability. I'm going to add that in because I'm not the greatest at it. She's much better, I would say, than me. But I mean, I have my struggles. We're all sinners, and we just continue to grow in the Lord. But I do notice one thing. I notice the more I read, the more I research, the more I learn, the closer I'm getting to the Lord, and the more I can feel the Lord push me in certain directions. And actually, like a lot of the struggles that I've had, well, I don't drink anymore, so that's good. That's thanks to the Lord and my beautiful and loving and wonderful wife. But I also have some issues with corn, and my issues with that have gotten better and better and better and better and better. And it just takes prayer and prayer and prayer and prayer and prayer and lots of prayer, because Lord knows I cannot do it on my own, because unfortunately, and I think everybody has their own struggles, but unfortunately for me, I think lust is my biggest struggle. I like beautiful women, and it's tough. I mean, as you can tell, I like beautiful women. Yeah. But you are beautiful. You're very beautiful.
At least somebody didn't call me your mother today. Yeah.
Not yet.
But yeah, I can't think of it. Going back to the conversation, I can't think of a time that I got upset at you not reading my mind. I'm very much like I let things go pretty quickly. Like you said the other day about the um job different position that I was going for within my company. I didn't get it and I was upset at first, but then I quickly got over it. That's kind of me in general.
You did mention though that you are kind of passive and you don't really like
Yeah, I don't
confrontation.
like confrontation. So, and I feel like in the beginning of our relationship, I probably just like avoided talking about what bothers me. But now I think I'm pretty good at
Sometimes.
telling you what
I'm only
bothers me.
smiling like that because the time that you slapped my hand because you thought I was on the
Yeah,
phone.
yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
thought I was on the phone with
I was
somebody.
also at that time.
Yeah, that's true. No, sorry, I love you. We're not going to
Yeah,
co-host.
we don't know who you are.
But thank you for the invite. But I wanted to go into that, you saying that. I also think that if you're passive and kind of avoid confrontation, that sometimes that can be a bad thing because you can end up holding in your anger and holding in your frustration.
And then
also
you have
not,
resentment.
Yeah, then you have resentment, and that's also not a good thing. We'll go back to holding it in. That one guy says, who usually makes the first move? I do. We have a pretty traditional marriage.
Even after like almost 11 years, I'm still
Twins 102184. Thank you for the follow.
Thank you.
We really appreciate all the follows, guys. And like she said earlier, this isn't about money. This isn't about tap the screen and send us gifts and blah, blah, blah. This is literally just about you guys together out loud, all of us together out loud, talking, having conversations. We think that we both agree that conversations heal the world and heal a lot of the drama and the anger and the frustration that goes on in the world. And even if, for example, we're talking and I can't change your mind and you can't change our mind, at least I feel like every human being can find common ground somewhere. I can even find common ground with an atheist because just for an example, when I've gone on and debated atheists, they most of the time would at least have some kind of ethical, moral foundation. But that's my issue is what are you putting that foundation in? That one guy asks, would you be upset if she made the first move? No.
Mm-mm.
No. And actually, sometimes, if she comes on to me, sometimes I like that because everybody likes to, for someone, at least I feel
wanted.
Everybody likes to feel wanted and for someone to come on to them because if I'm just the one doing it all the time, then it starts to feel like, is this chick even like me? Or is it just like, I guess, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe.
If somebody commented, we got a notification that some comments in this live are filtered. So if we're not answering you, we're not ignoring you. It's just that we can't see your comments.
Yes. Everybody knows how TikTok is. They censor. I wish that they didn't censor. I wish we genuinely could talk about whatever we want. I don't even care, even if you want to say the N-word. Anything. That one guy says, thank you for that honest talk, and we appreciate that, and thank you for the engagement. Thank you for the questions.
That's another thing, too. Like, social media is pretty fake. I'm sure people can agree. So we just come on here and be ourselves. The same conversations that we have on here, we have all the time with each other. And one of our friends even said that we should start a podcast. So we just
a number of people actually. Adrian did, and Seth did. Bob had said that we should do something where we're like teaching people and kind of helping to guide people. But yeah, and I just wish, I wish we didn't have to say schnauzy for that. I wish we didn't have to say mustache. Man, it's just dumb. It's just dumb censorship, and everybody should be able to openly talk about whatever they want to talk about.
And maybe someday if we do get more followers and get bigger, we go on to like a better platform, but we also like engaging.
I like it being live too because I like that it's not edited. Like we're real people. You're not going to find when you get on Spotify or YouTube and you look up our videos, you're not going to find edits. You're not going to find like a couple fake people that are just like, oh, I shouldn't have said that, let me delete it. Sorry, my back gets sweaty. But yeah, you're just a couple real people.
I don't know if that's somebody's
TikTok
comment.
said out of everything you could think of. Yeah, N-word, schnazzies, schmurder, the big C, just because there's so many that you're, what's the word I'm looking for? Censored from.
Yeah.
But, yeah, whatever you guys want to say, I don't care. Have at it. But to continue, we were talking about, so when you get frustrated and stuff and you may be passive. There's like something on the back of my phone. Sorry.
Distracted.
And if you're passive and non-confrontational, that at times you can be holding it in, and that's not a good thing for you. Actually, Dr. Jordan Peterson talks about this because I believe he's spoken about how his wife can be very passive, and he has spoken about how, like, at night, if they're in an argument or a heated debate or anything like that, she is the type of person who can go right to sleep and be like, we'll talk about this in the morning. Let me get some rest and let me sleep on it. And I will feel better to discuss this in the morning. Whereas he is like me, I think, because this is how I am. He's like, I want to get it fixed then and there, right away.
That's how I am
like,
too.
Let's get to it.
And
so, go ahead.
I also feel like if I'm doing something that is bothering him and he's not talking to me about it, I'm not going to ever know and figure out how to fix it if it's something that I feel like should be fixed. And vice versa. So that's another thing. If you're holding stuff inside and you're gonna become resentful, and then the other person has no clue what they did wrong.
I'm gonna go back also to some people who commented though and said that's the first thing you can think of, and then said racist. No, the reason that is the first thing I thought of is because I've been on many lives, and that is the first thing people say when they want to get you red flagged, canceled, or shut down. Right. And I don't know how many of you guys have been on. But, like, there are jerk people out there and that's why we're kind of careful. We're going to get better at it. Black Salami says, I think I have a way to end this debate.
Well, we're not going to.
Black Salami says, would you like to hear it? Sure. It's not a debate. We're not debating.
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying, she and I don't debate. We just have conversations with people.
I honestly don't like it because I like to protect my peace.
The people whose lives I've been on, when people want to get them canceled, because there are jerks in the world, people. So just like people were like, oh, racist? Because they immediately think that because I brought up the N-word. The reason I brought up the N-word is because that's what people do. I've been on lives where they're like, oh, here's a new guest. Hey, welcome up, blah, 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 blah. And the first thing the person does is scream the N-word. And then they, like, kick them real quick. Go watch Dean and Parker. People do it on their podcasts constantly. It's like, I would imagine probably once every 5 minutes, someone will just come up and randomly drop the N-bomb. So, no, it's not racist. It's just the first thing I thought of because that's what people do.
Mature.
Yeah, because people can't be mature and they can't just... I mean, it's also like, that's a form of censorship too. Unfortunately, they are like, oh, I know something this person won't like to hear, for one, and two, I know that TikTok will be very upset if I get on there and I say this word. So I'm going to get on there and I'm going to scream it to try to bash this person's live podcast, whatever they may have going on. But anyways, yeah. And there's many other words that they censor. And again, I was just making the point
they censor words that I was surprised, like the big C.
Yeah, the big C, which is weird, or narcotics.
What if you're a medical doctor? What if you're a medical doctor and you're talking about the big C?
Yeah, they banned the word that my dad used to call me. We've run into that. The one time we got flagged and nobody could join. I think for the rest of the podcast, nobody could even join in.
Oh yeah,
because I said the F word followed by an Apple Gary Oscar Tango. If you know what that is, if you can spell that out.
And he wasn't calling anyone.
And I wasn't calling anyone that. I was talking about how my dad, growing up, that's what my dad used to constantly call me. But whatever, I'm not a victim. My dad was crazy, I guess, so to speak. But going back to holding it in, if you have anything to say on that.
It's just, my thing is, I think that's another, when you're holding stuff in and not telling somebody what's bothering you, that's also, I think, another form of having control issues because you're essentially trying to control how that person's going to react, or you're going to assume that somebody's going to react a certain way if you talk to them about it. So rather, you don't say anything at all. But resentment is something that is a very, very bad feeling to have because I still have some of that.
Actually, Jordan Peterson said that's the worst thing you can have towards a person. And do you know what the sign of resentment is?
What's that?
Eye roll.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
She hates that. She does. Sorry, you can't say hate either.
Oh.
She dislikes very much the eye roll. But yeah, he said that when he would
being ignored too. Like that's another thing that I
tough.
like. Just don't. Even if you're trying to not respond because you're trying to control how you're going to respond, tell the person like, I don't want to talk to you right now, and I don't want to talk about this right now until I calm down, and then we can discuss it.
Yeah, like Dr. Jordan Peterson's wife would say. Like, yes. I'm gonna sleep on this, and then we'll discuss it calmly in the morning when I feel like I'm in a better mental state.
Yeah, which I mean, when I'm upset, I can't go to sleep. So.
And you're pretty good at like holding your composure for the most part.
Yeah, mostly.
But also there's moments where like it's.
I think my tone is what gets me in trouble.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people can take your tone as very.
In like a judgmental
yeah, like judgy.
And also like a lot of times when I don't think I'm yelling, it's like a stern tone. People say like, why are you yelling? Why'd you yell at me? And I'm like, I didn't know it was yelling. Because I think my voice is kind of like low and soft and mumbly anyway. So
it is, because like when we do the podcast, I'm always like, I always sound so super loud. And she's like, hey, it's me.
Well, and that's funny because it makes sense with what you talked about before in the household that you were in. It was very chaotic and you had to.
Yeah, it's loud.
And me, I was kind of just
the last
like.
episode I talked about that.
Yeah, yep. And for me, I was used to like people not listening to me when I talked, so I just got used to just like not talking.
And please feel free to engage also if anybody has something they want to talk about, problems, issues you guys may be having as well. We always bring that up because, again, like we said earlier, this podcast is about everybody. And we want to make it more about other people too. I like to learn from other people. I like to hear from other people. And I know that there are people out there who don't have anyone to talk to. So don't be afraid. We don't bite. And feel free to chime in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'm going to give my kind of my 2 cents on that. David Avery 76 says, good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon, David Avery. And thank you for joining. And please feel free to follow so you can come back and have conversations with us. And I always ask if you guys will. David Avery 76 asks, are you married? Yes, we are husband and wife.
Yep.
For
almost 11 years.
Almost 11 years of pure hell. Just kidding. I'm joking. And we don't take ourselves too seriously. No. We like to joke. We like to have fun. But we won't obviously we want to try to keep this as Christian based as possible. And positive. And because of TikTok rules and censorship, there are things that we can't say or talk about anyway.
Sometimes we do go off on little tangents.
Yeah, we go on tangents. We go get off into some conspiracy theories, some CTs, which I called CSs the one day. David Avery 76 says, great 11 years. What is your subject? That's our subject.
We just
different things. Mm-hmm. Trying to keep it positive. He says he loves the picture. That's The Last Supper.
And thank you.
We're saying that for people who can't see it because, like I said, we post this on Spotify and YouTube. So on Spotify, obviously they won't be able to see it.
For some reason, I can't. It won't post the video on Spotify. It is really difficult when I upload.
I think it also takes a while.
On my phone. Yeah, so I just put audio on Spotify, and then the YouTube has the full episode.
But that's what we talk about. And also, we would like other people to bring up their own subjects. So a lot of our subjects we'll have written down and we'll start talking. But if somebody comes up with something that's bothering them, like, for example, I know in the last one we got into with Lee Hosier a lot of childhood, some trauma, mental health things. And those are things we like to talk about a lot. I've studied a lot through like Carl Jung. Dr. Jordan Peterson has helped me tremendously. I don't know, I'm not sure the author, but Thinking Fast and Slow is something that I read, which is amazing. I'm just kind of fascinated with like theology and philosophy, but also from a Christian perspective.
And
she studied it.
Yeah, I have a background in general psychology. It's been a while though, because that's not what my career is right now. But I'm always interested in the why people do the things they do or how they turn out. And I'm also I'm a huge fan of cognitive behavioral therapy and practices where changing your thinking changes your feelings and behaviors. So And David Avery 76 says, love the tats, absolutely cool couple. Thank you very much. We actually just got...
Yeah, we just got fresh ones.
Yeah,
I got the Seraphite from Last of Us. It's right there. It's all fresh. That's why we're not usually distanced like this either. We got a little space in there just because she doesn't want to like rub it right against me, but she has one on her leg of Caitlin, our dog that
passed away.
I was trying to think of the words because I was like, wait, what words can we say again?
Oh, yeah. She crossed the rainbow.
She crossed the rainbow bridge. There we go. That's a good one because
she was,
censorship.
Like our first dog together when we got married. First dog we got together. We got her like a month after we got married, and then she was there for all 3 of the babies coming home. And I like don't want to cry, but she was super.
She was so good.
Yeah.
And even even the last day, I'm sorry I brought it up because I know you're gonna cry now. Even the last day, so we had someone come and put her down, and which this is wonderful that people are starting to do this. But the place that we called to have her euthanized. Sorry, I know put down is kind of a terrible term, but the place that we called to have her euthanized actually came. They did it outside. It was a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah,
it was just so amazing.
We
it was
took
so
her
beautiful.
on a long walk before, but poor girl, that was she like could barely walk when we got back. She was like dragging her back legs, but.
And David Avery 76 says, I have a condition that I generally don't talk about much. And that's fine. You know, whatever you're open to talking about, we're open to engaging with you about. It's about both of your concerns and your thoughts about life. Okay. I don't know what he means by that.
I'm not sure.
But we will continue with, if you have some questions about our concerns and our thoughts about life. So like I said earlier, actually I'll talk about my thoughts about life. Like I said earlier, I'm devout Christian. She is as well. We do our best at least to be devout Christians, but as it says in Romans, we're all sinners. There's not one righteous, no, not one. David Avery 76 says, I have denigrate disease of the spine. I'm sorry to hear that, David.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's terrible. And I pray that Jesus helps you through those things, and I pray that you find some comfort and some solace in Jesus as well. I have a complete new neck. That's kind of cool. I only say that because I don't know anything about it. If you want to go into details of what that means, is it like
how they put like metal rods in your leg? Do they put like
different metal pieces in your neck?
If you want to
that's a question we have. If you feel free. Then 11 months later, a new back. Wow. Is that the same? So different? Maybe discs? Do they have metal discs?
I'm not sure, but I imagine that recovery is pretty long and tough. So I'm hoping that the recovery, although hard and long, I'm hoping that you are having some peace during recovery.
And he says yes so much. So, yeah, I'm assuming different hardware, different metals. And if it's not too personal, if you can discuss... See, this is so hard. This is why I'm flipping properties as a general. It's so tough because I want to talk to you about the type of pain relief you're receiving and stuff like that. Because that's a big issue in America and maybe possibly across the world. As a general contractor, I do the work.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
That's really great.
Well, that's amazing that you can still get around and do all of that. Praise Jesus for that. Praise Jesus.
I imagine that being painful because we had our bathroom remodeled, so we had people in here, and you have to, be working on with your hands and crawling into small spaces, I'm sure. So... Yes.
Amen to that. David Avery 76 says, my heart, mind, and God, Jesus.
Absolutely.
Yes. Amen to
100%.
that. And that's so amazing, and I'm so happy that you shared all of that with us. Thank you very much for sharing.
And I'm happy that didn't stop you from doing your work, because I imagine that would be something that somebody could just kind of give up on being active and doing work. So I'm super happy to hear that you're still being a general contractor and doing what I'm hoping is work that you love. Nice.
And he says, my girlfriend is 28 years my younger. Good for you. And thank you for sharing all of this. Any plans on marriage? Out of curiosity.
Yeah.
That's another thing we like to talk about on here. We like to promote marriage and promote healthy
Yeah.
relationships and healthy marriage.
We were together 3 months before we got married. That's it. But we knew each other since, well, when I was in middle school. Yeah.
But we were just talking about like holding it in when you hold in anger and frustration and how that can kind of fester and end up really bad. Especially for me, it does, because I have been known to hold it in. I've been a lot better at it, but I've been known to hold a lot of emotions in where I don't want to talk at all. Like I used to, for the longest time, I was a runner. Like the minute things started to make me angry or get bad, I would run. And I would exacerbate things, and things would snowball. I would let things get worse and worse and worse. David Avery 76 says, anger destroys healing. Absolutely I agree with you.
Well, I think another thing too is you also, I feel like sometimes your perspective of your self-worth kind of got you to run away too, because you just would assume that you were doing something wrong, so you're like, well, this person doesn't want to be with me, because you've mentioned that.
Yeah, I would get ashamed of myself very easily as well. And that's a great topic also, David Avery, that anger destroys healing, because it very much does. I would always let my own anger get the best of me. And I've gotten a lot better at it. It's very easy to let yourself slide into nihilism, hopelessness, things like that, through anger, despair, just shame, and all around absolute dislike for yourself. David Ayer 76 says, God bless me continually. Amen for that. Yes, praise amen. Jesus for that. Me as well. It has been a tough haul, and there were many, many, many times in my life where I questioned God, especially my late teens, early 20s, because it just started to feel like nothing was making sense. I don't know if you've gone through this as well, or anybody else who's listening, but it felt like nothing was making sense. It felt like my prayers weren't being answered, and everything in my life was kind of spiraling downhill. David Avery says, wheelchair, no way. And that's amazing. Awesome. That's awesome so as cool. well. And I'm also happy to hear that you persevere through all of that as well. Perseverance is another key thing, which I also struggled with. But as I got older, I started to recognize that the things that I've gone through in my life are not weaknesses, they're strengths. Mm-hmm. And they're strengths that they're obstacles that the Lord put in my path to show me my own strength. The crazy part about it is how long it took me to learn. Maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm naive and I'm dumb and I'm just an idiot. But I hope that we're not getting flagged for me calling myself all these things. But
we'll see. We'll see if we get an alert up here that says that we can't.
But it did take me a long time to learn, because like even when I would successfully overcome something or successfully do something correct and go in the right direction in my life, I would never recognize it, and I would never give myself the grace to recognize that I did that. Sorry, I accidentally backed out. I would never give myself the grace to recognize that I did that, and it was difficult. And David Avery says, yes, God has taught me patience. Job was the master patient man, and I agree. Yeah.
And perseverance too.
Yeah, perseverance too. Job was very
not giving up,
persistent.
Well, even just everything that he lost, and he persevered. He got through that and never lost his faith, and then the Lord gave him an abundance more.
An abundance more, which is what he's also been doing for us. I'll share a story with you, David. So when we were in church, we decided that we're going to start giving our 10% tithes, because that's what the Bible says you should do. And it was the toughest choice for me. She was really good with it. I was like having a full-on panic attack. David says, thank you guys for the hug and support. You're cool. Thank you as well. And we really appreciate the engagement and the support, and praise Jesus that you were brought into this live at this time. Absolutely. And we really appreciate that. Absolutely. Are you LDS? No, we are not Latter-day Saint. We were, I would say what's it called? Non-denomination, and maybe a little Baptist. Because I do still have, there are certain things that I question, and certain things, because there's so many there's so many different sects. SECTS. Don't
flag
red flag us for that. There are so many different denominations. We'll use that word instead, so I don't get flagged. Of Christianity, that it's hard to find like where you fit in. Actually, we kind of found out recently that I probably fit more in with Wesleyan, because we were like Googling different things. Because I believe the Art of the Humble Brag says this guy has vertigo. I'm sorry for your vertigo.
Yeah.
And I pray that your vertigo gets better. I get that from Lyme's disease.
My mom has that.
But back to what I was saying, I believe that God is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. But I believe that He can choose that, if that makes sense. So a lot of people believe that no matter what, He's in control at all times. I don't believe that anymore. Growing up, that's what I was taught in like the Baptist religion. I believe that He can control all things, but I don't think that He does control all things, if that makes sense.
He makes the choice.
But some people, it's weird. Some people make it seem like, but if you don't think that He's in control of all things, then nothing in the Bible is true, and this isn't true, and that's not true. And I'm like, no, that's not true. Like, He can change things if He wants to, but He also wants to, that actually goes into, I have this written down, but somewhere in here. Sorry, my notes are all scattered, but I have it written down. I can't even find where it's at now.
Well, as yours, David Avery 76 says, Jesus said, love God, love your neighbor. Yep,
yes,
absolutely.
Yep. And it's difficult to do. I also know that I'm not perfect, but, right there, I have it written down, predestiny versus free will. Because that's one thing that I struggled with the church. So this is my personal belief. Our free agency is from God, yes. Yep. But my personal belief is I think that everything is similar to a multiverse. And I know that, I've spoken to other Christians about this, and they're like, they get bent out of shape. And this is no judgment on them either. You can believe whatever you want. If you want to believe that God is in control of everything at all times, I'm okay with that too.
For God, all things are possible, so...
Yes, exactly. But the reason I can't bring myself to believe that is what I wrote down right there, is predestiny versus free will. If God is in fact in control of all things at all times, then there is no such thing as free will, because everything then, if He's in control of all things and knows all things, everything is predestined, if that makes sense. That means before you were even created, He knew where you were going to go. And I just can't bring myself to believe that, because that's not a loving Father. A loving Father gives you the choice to choose which way you want to go. Now, I think He knows where you'll go dependent on the choices you make.
Yeah.
But I don't think He knows the choice that you make. I think He blinds Himself by I think He almost blinds Himself to I don't know what road you'll take, but I know every single outcome. That's, if that makes sense. David says, the more you give, the more you get. I agree. And yes, thank you for bringing us back to that, David. So we decided, I was having panic attacks about giving this 10%, and she was very adamant about no, we should do it. This is what God wants. And anybody else who's watching, anybody else who's listening, like David Avery said, the more you give, the more you get. And it's 100% true. Mm-hmm. We give so much now. We are giving to other people. We plan on around Christmas, I've mentioned this before, but we plan on giving some $100 gift cards, Amazon gift cards out. Maybe do some trivia or make it fun. Maybe some Bible trivia. That would be fun. Yeah.
For our 25th episode, we gave away an Amazon gift card to the
$25
first person who followed on that
Amazon gift card
through that live.
And David Avery says it helps you manage your money better. And yes, it does.
It does, because it's automatic now. For me, which I should start making mine go automatically in my account, but I can't split up my paycheck like you. But that's the first thing I do when payday rolls around. It goes right into the account. And he has his paycheck set up so
it comes right out of my account. The 10% goes right into the account automatically.
And we don't even miss it.
And actually, even more than that, not only do we not miss it, I feel like we've gained more and more and more. It's we keep getting more and more and more. Well, that's also why we don't do this podcast to get likes and shares and money and gifts and all of that. Because, even if people did start gifting us and doing stuff like that, we would give back. We would just give it to other people and give back, because I just noticed through the Lord, you really do. If you trust in Him, it really does. It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
That's the way I could describe it.
excuse me, I'll tell a little story too. Shortly after we started doing that, and I'm not saying like this is a correlation, but I believe it is. So I was at a previous job still working remotely, and I was not making nearly as much as I am now. It's probably like cut in half. And so I felt really like that I wanted to contribute more, and I also wanted to be in a position where I felt like I was using my skills more in helping people, because before it was just like data entry, entering numbers all day long. So one of my old coworkers reached out and said, hey, this company's hiring, you should apply. And I did, and got a phone screen and then an interview. And after the interview, they said it would take up to like 2 weeks for me to find out if I got the position. But the very next day, they offered it to me. And one of the first things I did after I got off the phone is I just, no exaggeration, I got down on my knees and prayed and thanked the Lord, because I really think that because we started giving back more and more and more, the Lord blessed me with this. And now 2.5 years later, still at this job, and I feel like I'm thriving in the job, and I love what I do, and I get to be home when he gets home from work, and I get to be home when the kids get home from school. And it's just a really great balance between life and work, and being able to help out the family. So that's just my little story of how I think you give, and he gives back to you.
And he gives back to you, yes. And David says, we probably waste 20%. I would agree with that. We spend things on superfluous junk.
Yes.
We found that out recently because we're going to be trying to move down to South Carolina. Another journey that we feel like the Lord has put in our heart, just for the benefit for the kids. We think that they'll have more opportunities down there. And we just really think the Lord put it on our heart, like that's where we should be. That's where we belong. And David also says, great, more money and better job, blessed. Yes, and we praise Jesus every day, all day, for the blessings that we receive. Another thing I started doing, I got this from Theo Vaughn. If anybody listens to his podcast, I do a gratitude list every morning.
Guys, yes.
She started doing it now too, because it really helps, guys. So every morning I'll just thank God for 5 random things. Because there's infinite things that we can thank him for. Mm-hmm. I mean, we can thank him for the stars. We could name each star if we wanted to do that. David says, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you very much. And that's why we're doing this. We want to try to bring positivity into people's lives and help people to actually find the Lord and find Jesus and find God, find salvation, because that's the number one best gift you can give anyone. But, and also helping people here as well. But I lost my train of thought a little bit.
Gratitude.
Gratitude. So, I'll wake up and I'll thank God for my truck that I drive. I'll thank God for keeping us safe overnight. I'll thank God for waking me up and that I'm healthy. I'm disease and illness free. Well, I have Lyme's, but sorry, I don't know if the D word, disease, is flagged. We have no clue. I guess we'll see. But David says, just recognize God. God loves it. Yes, he does.
Yeah, and I know for me, and I think I've said this before, that I feel the closer that I get to the Lord, I feel like, I'm not saying that he's answering my prayers quicker. I'm just recognizing, like, even the little prayers that I pray for, and I feel like it seems that I'm recognizing that my prayers are being answered quicker. And so I feel like the more you are grateful, the more positive your life is. I mean, mindset for sure is powerful. If you have a negative mindset, then every negative thing that's happening in your day or in your life is going to be magnified. So if you're practicing gratitude, all the positive things are going to be magnified.
Yes. And David says, thank you guys. May God continue to bless you and your family. Thank you.
You
and thank you for the blessings, and thank you for the prayers, and thank you for all of that.
And we always, when we have conversations like that, we have people coming in and telling us their stories and how God blessed them. I really feel like the Lord brought you into this live for a reason. So.
Exactly. And also, that's another thing I'd like to do. Lord, just put this on my heart. If you have anything that you might be struggling with or anything like that, put it in the chat, and we'll say a prayer for you, just because prayer really does work. Like I was just bringing up earlier how I was praying, and in the beginning of my life, like, well, not the beginning, but my late teens, early 20s, how things weren't working. But I think it's also because I wasn't on the path that God wanted me on. So while prayer works, I think that prayer works better when you're on the path that God wants you on. The reason I say this, because I know people might be like, well, then that doesn't make any sense. Then how does it work? I think it's like God's way of saying, like, yeah, I get all these prayers you're asking for. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you over here. You're over here. I want you over here so that I can answer those prayers and I can give you those things that you're requesting. David says, have a great day. Continue and fight Satan continually. And thanks, you as well. And God bless you. And prayers for you and your family and your loved ones.
And I continue to pray for your healing and hoping that, the things that you had to go through regarding your disease, can we say disease, regarding your back and your neck. I hope you have continued strength in getting through, especially days that may be more painful than others.
And I pray that it gets easier and easier and easier as it goes on, rather than harder and harder as it goes on.
Yeah.
And I pray also that the Lord lift your pain and take away your pain and stuff, so that way you don't end up like a lot of people who end up hooked on opioids. I hope we could say opioids, but that's a big thing that Theo talks about with the Sackler family and stuff, which, like I said, I want to watch that Dope Sick. Thank you again. Thank you. It's good now. And that's good. That's good. That's so good to hear. He has helped, and that's amazing. Praise Jesus for that, everyone. Absolutely. So David Avery, I want to make sure I say this. David Avery says he has helped. The Lord has helped.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I said it, so that the people who can't see us on Spotify, they can hear that he confirms that the Lord has helped. And he's helped me with many of my things, with many of my issues and the things that I suffer from, my sins and so on and so forth. But I mean, I broke my femur once. He helped me through that.
Yeah.
And I was on opioids for that. Praise Jesus that I didn't end up addicted, because it's insane how many people go through, addiction, and it's tragic, actually. It's just tragic.
It is.
The greed behind it and the selfishness and just trying to make money off of other people's suffering and the sadness.
I think my first, when I had our first baby, they prescribed Percocets because, I don't know if I can say that, they prescribed narcotic and opioid.
Percocets.
Yeah, and I don't even think I took a pill. I think I just threw them away.
No, you're pretty good.
And actually, thank you to the nurses. I know I'm like going off topic a little bit, but this goes to show like everybody is in your life for a reason. The nurses during that first C-section got me up and moving less than 24 hours after I had the baby, and I feel like other people who have had C-sections and they've had really struggled with recovery, I think that's probably why. Your body really heals. Your body is amazing. God made your body like to heal you, and so I agree. The quicker you start up and moving, the quicker you can heal. Because I was walking to Walmart like the first week home.
Yeah, you did. You healed and got like way better real quick.
Yeah, so
women have been doing it for eons.
Yeah.
So, but do you want to move into women set the emotional tone?
Yeah.
In the household?
At the beginning of the podcast, I did talk about how I just saw an Instagram post, a woman who was married since the 80s, and one of the things she talked about is women setting the...
Thank you, Danny Hicks, for the follow.
Thank you. Setting the emotional tone for
and thank you, everybody. Sorry, I don't mean to keep interrupting too. Thank you, everybody, for the engagement. Thank you, David Avery, for the engagement. I hope that David also followed so he can come back and join in the conversation. This is what I love. I love when everybody's like joining in and just helping each other, being positive, and just sharing life.
Yeah, whether we have 2 followers or 20,000 followers, we're
still going to do it.
Yeah, we love just having conversations and spreading positivity. But yeah, she in this video said that, some women may be upset about this and it might feel, like all this pressure, but women set the emotional tone of the household. And I agree, because women are the homemakers and the peacemakers of the house. And so if, for example, if he's coming home after a long work day and he maybe had a stressful day and he walks in and I have a negative attitude or I'm yelling or nagging or whatever, that's not going to help him. And I feel like it does really set the tone of the house. So even with the kids, like if I'm irritable and yelling over stupid little things, they may be getting upset. And this is supposed to be a house, like a place of peace. Our theme this year is protect your peace. So as the person who, especially now that I work from home, I'm like the majority, I'm in here for the most part. So yeah, of course that makes sense to be the emotional anchor of the house, I guess. Not to say like I need to control everybody's emotions, because you can't. They still have the choice of how they're going to react to things, but I'm also modeling behavior for the kids, pro-social modeling. So if they see me like freaking out about something, that's how they're going to start to react to things. But that's why I also really like to talk to them about stuff, because I know 90% of the time, if I'm getting upset about something, it has nothing to do with them. It has something else that's going on, like stress, work stress, or I don't know, feeling like I need to get stuff done, I don't have time, or whatever the case may be. And I do explain to them, this is why I'm upset. But one of the things, this made me think of it too, is I want to try to start doing this too. Two things. One, I am always rushing and think everything is an emergency, and I have to remind myself this is not emergency, especially when school's starting back up next week. Next week?
Yeah,
next week. Excuse me, I'm getting gas from
burps from the Mountain.
School's starting next week, and I know for me in the morning it's very stressful, and I'm always trying to like rush them out. I want to try to remind myself this is not an emergency. Stop rushing. This is not an emergency. Second thing I want to try to do when I feel like I want to snap or get upset about something, I want to dance instead.
And you've gotten way better too, because like I know that you and Lennox used to go out at it, because Lennox would be building Legos until like a minute before the bus is coming, and she'd be like, "Yeah, but you can't bring Legos on the bus." We're like, "Let's go." But I wanted to toot your horn a little bit on what you were saying about the emotional tone. That's like, for example, every day that I get home, obviously if she's still working, she's sitting at her desk, but if she's not working, she always greets me, tells me she loves me, gives me a kiss. And this is just advice for other people that can make your life and your marriage and or relationship, engagement, whatever you have going on, that much easier with just the smallest, simplest step. The problem is, and this might come off a little chauvinistic, I don't care, or misogynistic. This isn't to say, like, oh, you darn women. But a lot of women don't want to do that. It's weird. It's like they're like, well, why should I have to do that? He doesn't control me, because you love him, right?
Yeah.
And he wants to make you happy, and you want to make him happy. And like, it's really nice to know that, oh, wow, my wife misses me while I'm at work, rather than you get home and your wife's like, here's this guy, so it makes, and the funniest part is like, it's such a small change to make such a huge change in your marriage and your relationship.
Yeah, and I agree with that. Even if, okay, let's say he like I said, maybe he had a bad day or it was rough, and he comes back and that's how he's greeted. Even sometimes I'll even bring the kids out if he brings the truck home, and we go down to the parking lot to greet him. That is kind of a reminder too. Like maybe he was in a mood where he's like, I don't even want to do this anymore, and we come down, we're greeting him, we're excited, and he's like, oh, this is why I do this. Yeah, it's a reminder. This is why I do this.
Exactly.
And I also like that. Wow, I'll get up in the morning with him when he goes to work.
I love that too.
And I'll start the car for him and get his shoes out and stuff. And I've seen some of my favorite videos that I like to watch.
It's like these little tiny things that she does that just like blow me away and make me remember how lucky I really am.
Thank you. One of my favorite videos that I like to watch are women who get up with their men at like 4 or 5 in the morning and cook them this nice lunch. Now I know I don't put a lot of in your lunch because you don't want to eat a lot at lunch, but I like seeing them make their lunches, or they'll even make a little breakfast sandwich and pack it for them, and I just like, that is my favorite thing, because that's what I like to do. They are taking care of their man, but like they get negative comments saying like, oh, is he your child, blah blah blah. They're so negative. First of all, if this wife is a stay-at-home mom and wife, okay, what are you contributing to the household then? Like, he's going out and working, so why wouldn't you, like, take care of him like that? Even if you're working, I mean, it's just like...
And the ones that I hate are like, they'll go and they'll record their husband, like, here he is in his garage, and they're like angry. And it's like, yeah, he's in there because look at what you're doing. Yeah. Like, instead of going out and being like, hey, babe, I miss you. Why don't you come in the house? You're like, look at him. Look at him out there in his garage in his peace. Look at him with his peace. We can't have that. Like, just...
And that goes back to the thing. He's never out in the garage or...
No, I'm always with her. I'm like a lost puppy dog.
So it's like...
And people can call it cucky because there was a guy earlier who called me a cuck. Really? I saw earlier in the comments. Yeah, he was like cuck behavior. And yeah, I don't care. You can call it cucky all you want.
What,
I love my wife.
On a podcast or...
No, I think because of like the way we talk and stuff like that, like he felt like I'm kind of cucky. And I don't care because here's the thing, like I provide shelter and protection. I do what the man is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. She does what the traditional woman's supposed to do, and it works really well for us. So if that makes me a cuck, I don't care. I follow my wife around like a lost puppy. That's like videos. Another thing, videos where dudes are like, "Oh yeah, bro, weekend, blah blah." I don't do any of that either. Yeah, like, no, my wife's not there. My wife's not there. I don't want to be there.
that's how I am with girls.
It's that simple.
But girls with like. The videos that I like are the girls who are in agreement with me where they're like, no, I don't want to go on a girls' weekend if I can't bring my husband.
I keep a tight circle, and it's good. I think it's good to keep a tight circle. Keep a tight circle, and like it's tough to penetrate and get into our circle because we have a circle together. It's our bubble with our kids.
The circle of trust.
The circle of trust, but it's hard to penetrate to get in. But once you're in, you're a friend for life because there's loyalty, nothing but loyalty here.
That's right.
But it's just hard to get in because, like I said, that's just how we are. Like, we're like, yeah, if she's not going to be there, I'm not trying to go. And like a friend's like says to me, like, oh, dude, we're at the beach. Let's go do something alone together. Like, oh, my wife's not going. I'm not going then because I don't want to do that.
And maybe your wife isn't as cool as his.
Yeah, that too. And that's another thing too. Like, do you want your husband to love you or not? Like, do you want him to miss you and stuff? Then these are the things that you should be doing to help mold and shape his brain to just constantly think about you, which is what she did. She should write a book about it because she's really good at it. Because I'm being honest. Like, I'll be at work just like, man, I miss my wife.
Or like
my wife could just be in the passenger seat while I'm driving.
He's the first person I want to talk to when I have like office gossip or whatever, and he doesn't know.
Yeah, I don't even know these people.
He's like, oh snap, so is acting like this.
Oh snaps! Screw her. She's a hoe. I'll probably get fired for that.
Probably, but yeah, I don't know. And maybe it is.
She's not really either. I'm just making stuff up just to make it more dramatic.
It's just the way society is, and that can go. I know your timer probably went off.
Yeah, the timer went off.
But I know you wanted to talk about like.
We can talk about that another time. The high
value men and high value women.
High status male versus high status females. Yeah. So we can always go into that.
I'd like to do that because this is the one last thing I'll say. It's because society convinces people that traditional roles and like actually loving your husband and your wife is
bad.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's weird. Like they want to tear the nuclear family apart so much so that they can raise you to just be robotic workers, go and do your job and that's it, and pay your taxes so that we can live off your taxes and be a peon, be a little pawn on the chessboard.
I've said this a million times before and I'll say it again too. For those people who don't understand like how he can like love me or want to do this stuff with me or whatever, or how I don't want to go on girls' weekends and he doesn't want to go on a guy's weekend or whatever. Those people, like, whatever problem is you have with your spouse, that's a reflection on you too, because you chose them. They're the only people that you choose in your family.
Notorious Nick 61 says, hey, I hope you heal from all the things you don't talk about. You deserve that. Oh. Thank you, Notorious Nick, and I hope that you heal from the things you don't talk about as well. And that's why we try to be open and we try to talk about all the things that we can.
And Hi says something.
Hi said something funny. Sorry, about a clam. And I mean...
No, I like...
she likes salty things.
Stop.
Stop, don't come near her with your clam, bro.
Not necessarily. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, that'll be it for this episode. We'll end it on that note. Thank you, Hi.
We're usually here Saturday or Sunday around noon.
Around this time, yep, around noon, 1 o'clock.
If we're not, then we actually have something to do with our lives.
Yeah, then we're doing something with our children and stuff. But thank you, and please follow because we like when people come in and are funny too.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What?
Don't take things seriously.
What?
Something exciting, real quick. Speaking of stuff that we're doing, what are we doing on Friday?
What are we doing Friday? What are we doing Friday?
Who are we gonna meet?
Oh yeah, look. He's got the devil in a chokehold, and we're going to be meeting Patty Pimblett, who put BSD in a chokehold.
Yeah, so we're excited. If you watch UFC,
yeah, hi. Maybe we're doing that too, and that might be why we're not on. Thank you, hi. Make sure you follow so you can come join us and we can have fun.
Yep, come back and bring the entertainment. But yes, so we're excited. We're going to meet.
We're going to meet Patty Pimblett in Philadelphia.
He got me to become a fan, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't wake the kids up. So when he got him in that chokehold, I was like, he got him! I mean, but I was loud. I was screaming. I lost it.
So excited.
Yeah, Patty. Oh, Patty the Batty. And with that, we will see you guys next week.
And remember, Jesus loves you.
Jesus loves you.